next morning, I wake up to be greeted by the walled city of Dubrovnik, one of the most prominent tourist destinations on the Adriatic. The city is also known as Ragusa in Italian. A short taxi ride from the port takes me to the walls of Dubrovnik. With 6 hours at my disposal, I chose to walk around the walls of Dubrovnik, a series of defensive stone barriers that have surrounded and protected citizens for centuries. The walls run 2 kilometers around the city and offer breathtaking views of the entire town. The walls run from 4 to 6 meters thick on the landward side, but are much thinner on the seaward side. The system of turrets and towers were intended to protect the vulnerable city. The walls surround the old city of Dubrovnik. Completely built of stone, it came into existence between 598 and 615. It fell into decline after a strong earthquake hit the city in 1667 and is now a popular tourist destination. A number of monasteries and museums are in this part of town and are still in their original state. Like any tourist destination, it's also home to many souvenir stores and restaurants specializing in seafood. Well, here I am in the streets of Dubrovnik in Croatia. I've explored the old town and now I'm on the lookout for something which is in the wardrobe of every man in the world, and it was invented right here. According to legend, the modern ties or cravats originated in the country. In the 1600s, when men would go off to war, women would tie colorful handkerchiefs as a symbol of their undying love. The earliest known usage of cravats in history is this portrait of Croatian poet Ivan Gundulić, estimated to have been painted in 1622. The French Emperor Louis XIV posed for this portrait years later. He was born in 1638, the year when Ivan Gundulić died. So the traditional Croat military kit aroused French curiosity, and over centuries it transformed into several different versions. Unfortunately, I did not find many ties on sale, except for some tourists making a fashion statement. And finally, some at what seemed to be a popular souvenir shop which has successfully commercialized the legend. Well, the next tie is a little harder to find than I anticipated, but the ice cream is available in every street corner and it's worth a try. After getting blessed by a local street artist dressed as an angel, it's time to leave Dubrovnik. Corfu, 18 miles wide and 36 miles long, the second largest of the Ionian Islands. It is the most northerly and the most westerly point of Greece. With some of the most breathtaking views in all directions, it is also considered by many to be the most beautiful. On arrival, I make my way to the local bus stand. I was told that taking local transport could save me quite a few euros. For €1.20, you can hire this public bus and travel all the way to Kanuni, a beautiful resort area 2 miles south of Corfu town. A half-hour drive along the picturesque coastal town past narrow streets takes me to the resort town. Canoni has been named after a cannon set up by the French. It is one of the most famous parts of Corfu because of the unique views of the monastery of Laharna, built in the 12th century, and the 13th century chapel on Ponticanusi, or the Mouse Island. A narrow cobbled pathway and a cement dock in the middle of the sea, built in the 17th century, leads me to the gates of the monastery of Laharna. The small 12th century church in the monastery has icons of its patron saint, Our Lady of Laharna. Many locals and tourists light candles and pray for miracles here every day. And just outside is, no prizes for guessing this one, a souvenir shop selling religious symbolism, magnets that give you a piece of Corfu, and local crafts. After being lured in by the interesting trinkets on sale, I make my purchases and learn a valuable lesson. Make sure you carry enough euros while in Europe. While dollars do come to the rescue, it always takes a while to convert currencies and give the change in another currency. This kind lady took some time, made some calculations, and finally got it right.
10 euro and $14. Okay, yes, 10 euro, eh? Okay, okay. Ευχαριστώ πολύ. Ευχαριστώ. Thank you very much.
From Laharna Island, you can take a boat to Mouse Island, but today the boats were off because of the choppy seas. When I get back to the main island, it suddenly looks a lot more crowded. It's time to get back to Corfu town. The oldest part of Corfu is also known as one of the most charming and romantic places of all modern Greece. Almost 500 years of Venetian, French and British occupation have left their influence on its architecture, giving it a place in the UNESCO World Heritage List. The old town is a labyrinth of narrow streets paved with cobblestones, sometimes tortuous but colorful and clean. These streets are known as Contunia. Today the area has been taken over by shops catering to tourists from around the world. From leather goods and ceramics to olive oil, carved olive wood, hand-woven lace and traditional food. Name it and you'll find it here. The shopping has made me hungry. After asking a few locals about the best places to eat, I'm guided to this little hole-in-the-wall restaurant to eat the best Greek food I've ever had. There's nothing like fresh moussaka, a popular Greek dish made of minced lamb layered with eggplant and bechamel sauce. Beyond the old town is the promenade by the seashore. From the promenade you can see the old citadel, an old Venetian fortress built on an artificial islet with fortifications surrounding its entire perimeter. With my time on shore running out, I head back to the ship.